Hello friends, I'm Manpreet Kaur. So welcome to my channel Nursing Scope. So in last video, I have discussed the NCLEX based questions on topic stroke, and those who have not watched that video, here is a link for that video. I'm going to continue with the same topic in this video. So friends, if you like the content, then please subscribe the Nursing Scope and press the bell icon so that you don't miss any future notification. So without wasting more time, let's start with the questions. Question number 6. A client has a right side brain damage from a stroke. The nurse should expect the client to have which of the following symptoms? So these are the options. Option A is right-sided hemiplegia. Option B is poor impulse control or impulsivity. Option C is expressive or Broca's aphasia. And option D is marked anxiety when learning a new task. So guess the correct option. Client with right side brain damage will show which of the following symptoms? So correct option is B. As shown in the image, the client with right side brain injury will show quick impulsive behavior style, paralyzed left side, and some perceptual or memory deficits. So why option B is correct? Here is the rationale. The right side brain damage causes inappropriate emotional expression, or so the client may exhibit impulsive or quick behavior. The right side brain damage causes the left side hemiplegia, and left side brain damage causes the right side hemiplegia because the motor fibers in a brain cross over in a medulla before entering the spinal cord. And Broca's aphasia is a manifestation of the left side brain damage because the Broca's area is located in the left side of a body. And client with the left side brain damage is aware of his neurological deficits and get anxious when learning a new task. So this symptom is not present in case of the right side brain damage. So test taking strategy to solve these type of questions. So note the keyword right side brain damage in a question. Review the functions controlled by right and left hemisphere of a brain. So this will direct you to correct option B. So now moving to the next question, question number 7. A home health nurse is assessing a client who has a stroke-like symptoms by using the mnemonic FAST. So which of the following correctly represents S in this mnemonic? Option A is smile, option B is stroke, option C is symmetry, and option D is speech. So which of the following correctly represent S in this mnemonic? Guess the correct answer. So here the right option is D. So now it's the time for the rational. So in the FAST, F stands for a face drooping, A for a arm weakness, S for the speech difficulty, and T stands for time to call. So F is for face drooping. So ask the patient to smile and check for one side of the face droop. A stands for arm weakness. So ask the patient to raise both arms and check for weakness of one side of a arm. So S stands for a speech difficulty. So we have to check for the slurred speech. For this, ask the patient to repeat a simple sentence. And if any of these symptoms are present, then T stands for time to call for an emergency. So time for the test taking strategy. So review the FAST concept of American Heart Association. To recognize the symptoms of stroke will direct you to correct option C, and the other options A, B and D are incorrect. So moving to next question, question number 8. The client with the stroke has right side hemiparesis and dysphagia, and nurse is educating the family about decreasing the risk of aspiration. So which of the following strategy is not appropriate? And option A is maintaining an upright position. Option B is restricting the diet to thin liquids until swallowing improves. Option C is introducing the food on unaffected side of the mouth. And option D is check for pouching of food in right side of a cheek. So guess the correct option. You have to find out the intervention which is not appropriate here. So correct option is B. So now it's the time for the rational. We all know dysphagia is a difficulty in ingestion, and if you offer the thin liquids to the stroke client with dysphagia, this will increases the risk of aspiration. So it is better to provide the soft, semi-soft food or the thickened fluid rather than the thin fluids, so that to minimize the risk of aspiration. So maintaining the upright position while eating is the appropriate because it minimizes the risk of aspiration, and introducing the food on unaffected side allow the client to have a better control over the food bolus. And pouching of a food in the cheek can lead to the aspiration, so the caregiver should regularly check for pouching of food in the affected side of a mouth. Taking strategy to solve these type of questions. So read the question carefully and note the strategic word not appropriate, and noting that the thin liquids to the client with dysphagia increases the risk of aspiration will direct you to correct option B. Use the process of elimination. Eliminate option A, C and D as these are the appropriate intervention, and in the question they have asked you to select the inappropriate intervention, which is the option B. So moving to our next question, question number 9. After a stroke, the client is referred to a rehabilitation center. The nurse should obtain a history of a client functional status prior to the stroke because option A is rehabilitation plan will be guided by this. Option B is functional status before the stroke will help you to predict the outcomes. Option C is it will help the client to recognize his physical limitations. And option D is the client can be expected to regain much of his functioning. So read the options very carefully and select the correct option. So the correct option is A. So why option A is correct? Here are the rationals. So the primary reason for assessing the client functional status prior to the stroke is just to make a rehabilitation plan, and assessment doesn't help to predict the recovery after the stroke, and nursing assessment helps to improve the functional level of a client. The nursing assessment of a client functional status is not serve as a motivation for a client. So strategy to solve these type of questions. So just review the steps of a nursing process, and reviewing the steps of nursing process, I mean assessment is a first step to make a care plan for a patient will direct you to correct option A. So moving to our last question of today's video, question number 10. What is the priority nursing assessment in first 24 hours after the admission of a client with thrombolytic stroke? And option A is echocardiogram. Option B is cholesterol level. Option C is pupil size and pupillary response. And option D is bowel sounds. So what is the priority nursing assessment in first 24 hours of thrombolytic stroke? Guess the correct option. So here the correct answer is option C. So time for the rationals. So it is very crucial to monitor the pupil size and pupillary response as this indicate the changes around the cranial nerves, and cholesterol level is not a priority assessment here. It is a long-term goal to maintain the normal cholesterol level, and bowel sounds assessment is not a priority in first 24 hours, and echocardiogram is not needed for a client with a thrombolytic stroke without the cardiac problems. So test taking tip to solve these type of questions. So read the question very carefully and note the strategic word priority nursing intervention. As we know, pupillary reactivity is an early indicator of increased ICP. So increased ICP is a primary concern for first 24 hours of stroke. So option C is correct. So that's all about the today's questions. So please put your feedback in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe and share the channel. I will upload my next video very soon, and the topic will be the myasthenia gravis. So stay tuned, stay safe. Thank you.